This is from a Reddit user, Lady Waldfee, my neckbeard ex-boyfriend. So I've been thinking about posting this story for a while about how I had a short and not really pleasant relationship with a neckbeard. Sorry, this is going to be kind of long. TLDR at the end. Well, hear those stories about the gentle sirs wooing miladies, but have you ever wondered what would happen if they won their price? Well, here's what happened to me. The time is 2006 to 2007, a simpler time when ICQ numbers were exchanged, chat sites flourished, and memes weren't really that big of a thing yet. Oh, I remember. The place, a university in Germany. Me, 19 back then, fashion sense, whatever has the most pretty colors, aka none. Growing up with a severe atopic dermatitis and the result of bullying in high school and a narcissistic mother, I end up a loner with zero social skills and a fair share of suicidal thoughts. You might think now that studying biology, I'd meet people who know what it means when you say you have allergies and atopic dermatitis, but no, the people in my class would just make as many jokes and, ew, don't touch her, she's got scabies comments. One girl even told me that I should cover up my gross rashes with makeup. When I told her that the chemicals from makeup would make them worse, she said that I'd just have to buy organic, and anyway, she didn't care if it was itchy for me, just as long as she didn't have to see the gross rashes. What a classy girl. So, it was only a couple of weeks after starting out at uni that I was bullied again. After 2 months, I received an ICQ message from an unknown number saying, "Hey, we just wanted to let you know that the entire class hates you because you're ugly and disgusting. Please do the world a favor and kill yourself." Wow, what a fucking ass. That's fucked up. After crying a lot, I started searching for my pocket knife. Wow, to cut my wrists and be done with it. And the only reason why I can write this now to you is because I couldn't find it. That is fucking horrible. So this was the condition I was in when I met the neckbeard. Let's call him Sir Beard-a-lot for his love of the Middle Ages and Renaissance fairs. He had a neckbeard, was pretty overweight with stretch marks on his belly, unkempt hair, though I was in no position to judge myself, unkempt neckbeard with a weird upper lip beard, and I guess the only reason he didn't have a katana was because anime culture wasn't that big of a thing yet. One day he just sat next to me in chemistry class and started making jokes and comments about the class towards me. It was the first time in a long time that I felt like I was being treated like a normal person, not a disgusting outcast. We ended up sitting together every chemistry class, and he studied chemistry. The bullying continued, and one evening I was at the point again where I considered suicide. So I chatted with Sir Beard-a-lot on ICQ and told him that I was feeling down and kind of wanted to die. He immediately demanded my address and said that he'd come because he had a friend who killed himself and wouldn't watch another die. My parents weren't home, and he drove an hour to my place and sat on the bed and comforted me. And eventually we kissed and kind of became a couple. In hindsight, I'm not sure if I should be thankful to him for probably saving my life or angry at him for exploiting the situation and kissing me. Maybe both. During the first days of our relationship, Sir Beard-a-lot expressed a lot of the typical behaviors of a neckbeard, doing way too much, unasked presence, and constant need for contact. That lonely me was very happy for. But it got a lot worse real quick. Soon he started demanding that I meet with him every lunchtime. So far so good, I was happy to be away from the bullies. But when our schedules didn't fit, he demanded I skip class since he did the same for me. I never did though, and he sulked a while. I spent most weekends at his place. But when I had other plans, he got mad, saying that as my boyfriend, it was his right to be with me on weekend. Oh, what a dick. Basically, he started treating me like he owned me. The other thing was his constant need for physical contact, and absolute lack of any ability to read body language. Wherever we went together, he had to grab my hand, and I mean grab, not hold. When I let it go to take something, open a door, whatever, he'd snatch back like a cat pouncing on a rat. That is, if I could free it from his grip in the first place. His hands were always on me, if not on my hands, my shoulder, lower back, ass, arm, you name it. Now, I don't have a problem with physical contact, and my current wonderful boyfriend and I cuddle a lot, but Sir Beard-a-lot would just not stop touching me for 1 freaking second. If I tried to free my hand or step aside to get some freedom, he immediately followed and put his hands back. If I went ahead a few steps to open a door, he was catching up with me immediately to grab me or holding me back by the arm and clutching my hand so I couldn't free it. There was a slight wonder that he let me go to the toilet alone. So eventually I snapped and made a big scene in the middle of the city while we were shopping. And after an hour or so of always having his hand somewhere on me, Sir Beardlot starts whining and saying that as my boyfriend, it was his right to hold my hand, touch my butt, etc. Due to all my aforementioned mental issues, I gave in. This relationship lasted 5 months. It was a mix of being happy to have at least one person at my side and feeling more like I was his doll, that he wanted at his disposal 24/7 to be touched or groped, whether I liked it or not. The reason why Sir Beardlot was fat, by the way, is that he only ate junk food. When I pointed out that he said something like the chemicals in the food are all the same, be it frozen pizza or fresh vegetable stew, and being a chemist, of course, he would eat as many artificially made ingredients as possible, I, as a biologist, could handle that differently. Sir Beardlot was really proud of his unhealthy eating habits. One day when I cooked him a vegetable pancake at his place, kind of hoping he'd learn to appreciate fresh food, he got a sausage from the fridge and wrapped it in the pancake, saying that he refused to eat anything vegetarian. This thick-headedness and absolute refusal to try something new actually irritated me the most, since I'm a person who loves to try new things. The story's already too long, so let me tell you how it ended. One evening, we sat on a bench waiting for the train. He'd been touching me all day. He was touching and kissing on me now. I felt overwhelmed. I moved away a bit and turned away, and he laughed with a huff and was just sitting right next to me again, arms around me. I pushed his arms away, and he moved again. Don't ask me why I didn't open my mouth, probably because I thought I couldn't tell my boyfriend not to touch me, and again he moved, laughing like this was some kind of game. And again I moved. The end of the bench was reached. I could only bend away, his large, heavy body over me, his lips perched to kiss. Oh, God. Fear made my brain go out. He was bigger, twice as heavy, and loomed over me with no way for me to escape. I bent to the side so much that my hands were touching the ground. I was almost falling off the bench. His heavy body was pressing me down as he tried to kiss my neck, just where I'm sensitive. I have no idea how to describe it, but the mixture of fear, disgust, and arousal automatically sent down my spine when one of my most sensitive erogenous zones. His kiss is one of the most horrible feelings I ever felt. Yeah, I imagine. I hugged him quickly when the train came and cried during my ride home, still feeling arousal and disgust and fear mingling somewhere inside me. The next day I asked him to meet me at a bus stop near the biology classroom and broke up with him. I told him everything and that he had treated me like he owned me. He listened and just said, "Well, have a nice life," and then disappeared. On the positive side, apart from saving me from suicide, this short relationship with Sir Beardlot has taught me to not mistake obtrusiveness for affection. Nowadays, I counter obtrusive guys with a cold shoulder, and if necessary, insults to drive them away. The second positive thing is that I learned about great medieval bands. Ooh, yeah, that's a rough one. That's a lot of things in one. I have noticed that with some of the terrible relationships I've been in the past, a lot of it did kind of stem from my inability to deal with really terrible situations around me. Low self-esteem and abuse and things like that. I went through all of it. So I kind of understand what she's talking about here, but fuck, dude, the way he was just like, I'm going to take advantage of this situation, this person who obviously needs someone who, is being nice and not someone who's going to be like, I'm going to touch you all the time. Like, oh, fuck. And the way he just dismissed, like, I'm glad she didn't have to deal with him after the breakup, but the way he was just like, well, see ya, was just like, that says everything that needs to be said about his personality. He was never truly invested. He only cared enough so that he could get what he wanted. What a piece of shit. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I have a Patreon if you want to donate to this. And I'll see you guys later. Okay. Goodbye.